June 2 is suing ex-client Pat Meyer for unpaid babysitting fees and defamation of character. Pat claims June is running an unsafe daycare.
All rise. Yes, case number 100 on the calendar in the matter of Two versus Meyer. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Miss Two, you provided daycare for Miss Meyer's baby, child, toddler?
Yes, 4 years old at the time.
And it is your claim that she owes you some money. She owes you some money for daycare that you actually provided.
Right.
And then punitive damages because you claim that she defamed you. When, after you sued her for the money that she owed you in small claims court, she called the state and reported that your daycare facility was substandard.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what the case is about. And Miss Meyer says she had every right to call the state with regard to the unsanitary and unsafe conditions in your house, because that's why she removed her child from your daycare facility, and she doesn't owe you anything.
Yes.
When did you bring your 4-year-old to Miss Chu to babysit?
January 17th.
Of 05?
2005, yes, ma'am.
And how did you find her?
A co-worker of mine had her child in her care.
And she was satisfied?
Well, she worked late hours and she didn't have no other choice, ma'am.
Well, you wouldn't have put your child in a daycare facility unless you said to this co-worker of yours, are you satisfied?
Quite honestly, I was desperate to find a daycare. I just started at my job in the beginning of December, and I needed to have daycare. Since I just started, I was not financially free to pay $450 up front for other daycares.
So?
So I talked to her, and she said, well, go ahead and try it. Mrs. Chu talked to me. She said, right now I'm kind of full. I have too many children, but it's okay. I can take him. It's okay. I got myself in trouble before.
How many children did she have at the time?
I'm not sure.
You didn't ask?
I wasn't in the daycare facility.
What do you mean you weren't in the facility?
We just kind of met at a stable and talked about stuff like this.
You met where?
At a stable. I was going to buy her horse. That's how we met initially.
I thought you met initially through a coworker.
Yes, ma'am. The co-worker has a horse, Miss Chu has a horse, and I wanted to purchase a horse. Her horse was
to buy a horse?
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't have $450 to pay up front for a daycare and you wanted to buy a horse?
Yes, ma'am.
Explain that to me.
I was looking into buying a horse. But
for what?
To ride, ma'am.
Keep going.
Like I said, I went to look for a daycare.
Now, Fred, last time you spoke to me, you were looking for a horse.
Yes, ma'am.
And you met her at a stable. And you hadn't been to the daycare facility yet. Stop playing around with your hair.
I called her on a Saturday. I said, I know you have a daycare. Is it possible for Jason to attend your daycare? She said, come on by on Monday. I went there, dropped him off.
Who had babysat for your son when you started working?
His godmother.
Well, what happened to her babysitting?
She had another job coming up that she was working, and she said she can't do it no more.
So you found her and you dropped him off without ever having seen the inside of the facility?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a husband?
Yes, ma'am.
What does he do for a living?
He's working in retail.
Did you end up buying her horse?
No, ma'am.
You have a horse?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you buy it?
Late February.
How much did you pay for it?
$600.
Where do you keep it?
Sally Hill.
At a stable?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much do you pay to board the horse at the stable?
$225.
A month?
Yes, ma'am.
You got your priorities a little bit backwards, Miss Mayer. You got your priorities backwards. Before you take a horse, you find an appropriate daycare for your child. Not one where you don't have to pay up front. Because according to the figures that you just gave me, you had $600 to buy a horse and $225 to board the horse, and you didn't have $450 to pay for what you might consider an appropriate daycare up front. You have other children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
2.
How old are they?
15 and 10.
So you got a lot of extra money. Must have a lot of extra money if you have a horse. Oy. Now, I'm not getting into how many children you're licensed for. I'm not getting into any of that. Just tell me, how long have you been a daycare provider?
7 years.
When did she first bring her son into your daycare?
In January.
And how long did you take care of him?
She had him out for a week and Good Friday. And then she brought him back, and it was April 4th, and he was in my home April 4th and April 5th. And on April 5th, that was the last day that she brought him. So,
how much did she owe you when she took her son out on the 5th?
She owed me for the 28th week, and then she also owed me for that week that he was in my care, but she took him out.
Okay, let me see the contract that she signed. And it's $85 a week.
Yes, ma'am.
So she owes you, according to you, for 2 weeks.
She owes me for 2 weeks and then a 2 weeks notice, which is also in the contract because she quit without any kind of notice to me. She sent me a letter on 4/6 by certified mail saying, thank you for your services. Basically, I don't need you anymore.
Can I see the letter she
Sure.
sent?
And then I returned with another letter to her explaining what I was expecting of her at that time. And in all honesty, Judge, I wasn't going to do another thing with her because when you're a daycare, you are...
Right. I got it. But then she went and filed a complaint.
Right. And I've been in business a long time, and I am inspected by the state and the health department 6 months every year, and they have never had a problem with my home.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She was with me 5 months, or 4 months after that.
No, she wasn't.
Well-
Listen to me.
Okay.
Don't be a fast talker. I don't like fast talkers.
And later today,
How old are you, Mr. Inwood?
I'll be 48 in 2 weeks.
And how old are you, Miss Murray?
I'm 25.
Okay. Me.
You gotta find friends your own age.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Child care provider June 2 says ex-client Pat Meyer owes for daycare fees and defamation of character as a result of filing false charges with the state. Pat claims June's parrot bit her son.
Go ahead.
Okay, the reason why we pulled Jason out of her care was because her macaw parrot bit Jason. He had the chance to walk across the dining room table, walk up his arm, and bite him because he wouldn't let go of his pretzel. I've got the pictures for it.
Okay.
And another child also bit him in the arm, and we just had enough.
When was the parrot bite?
6 months prior.
Just a second.
Oh.
When was the parrot bite?
It happened in March.
And what about the bite from the child?
The bite happened on the 5th of April. That's when we pulled him out.
Tell me about the bite.
The bite from the child?
Yes.
Okay. Well, and let me just notate, the bite from the bird was not a bite, and he was not on my dining room table.
I don't care where he was. Shouldn't have been around children.
But
Shouldn't have been around children.
okay, well, I'll agree with that.
Good.
Okay. As far as the bite from the child,
But that didn't precipitate her removing the child from your care.
right?
'Cause
She
if
was
the-
with me 5 months or 4 months after that.
No, she wasn't.
Well-
Listen to me.
Okay.
Don't be a fast talker. I don't like fast talkers. Child started with you in January, February, and March.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 months.
Correct.
So don't say it was 6 months before, because 6 months the child wasn't in your care.
That's true, but
Okay. But she still brought the child back after the incident with the bird, but did not want to return with the child almost immediately after the bite.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll explain that too.
Go ahead.
Okay. JJ was in my home, and that is why I brought my daughter today, because she's a witness to his behavior. And I have a little boy who is hearing impaired. And when the little boy came into the house that day, JJ immediately knocked him down. I mean, just pushed him down for no reason. I have basically 2 rooms, and each go into each other. And the next thing I know, the little boy who is hearing impaired comes running out of that room again because JJ pushed him down again. She didn't also tell you the story that her child punched that little boy in the face.
That day, on the 4th,
Yes, 5th.
on the 5th, the little boy retaliated by biting him.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what
Where
happened.
were you?
I was standing right there. And next thing I know, her son punches, and he grabs his arm and bites him that quick. I mean, it happens so very quick.
Okay, fine. Now, mother, she's upset. Child was bitten by another child. Pulls the child out. Fine. You called the authorities?
I made
You called the authorities.
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I don't remember. I really don't. Maybe 2 weeks afterwards.
Why?
Because I don't feel that she's taken the care that she should by the daycare that she has for the
Well,
children.
why didn't you call the authorities the next day?
I took the day off Wednesday to find a new daycare, and
That doesn't answer my question.
I just didn't have the time.
Well, what inspired you to call 2 weeks later? When did you receive the small claim summons that she filed against you? All that's documented, so
Yes,
you might as well give...
I don't know the date.
But the phone call that you made to the authorities was after that.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes.
Now I'd like to see the report from the authorities when they came to do the inspection.
The first one's the dog catcher report, and the second one is the health inspector.
Who's taking care of your son now?
He's at home with his siblings and Mrs. Oliver again.
What did you do between the 6th of April and the 27th of May?
Oh, I'm sorry. He was in Koala Daycare.
How much did they charge you?
$95 a week.
And if you were unhappy with Miss Tu's daycare, you could have put him in for an extra $10 a week to this other daycare.
I wasn't aware of that daycare at that time.
You should have been. If you spent a little more time choosing an appropriate daycare rather than shopping around for a horse, you could have been aware of the best daycare in your vicinity. I have, very little patience for somebody who spends any extra time on anything else when they have 3 children looking for quality daycare, which should be your first priority. First, not third, not second.
At that time, I was thinking I was doing the best I could by giving him
You don't
a
tell
home
me the
daycare.
best you could. The best you could is, you just told me that everybody else wanted up front $450, and she didn't, so you chose her. And yet at the same time, you were looking for a horse, and you bought a horse for $600.
Yes, ma'am.
Same month.
No, ma'am, it was the end of February.
A month later.
Yes, ma'am.
She owes you $340 for the daycare.
Yes, ma'am.
She also owes you $300 because I believe she filed this in retaliation and nothing more for your filing a small claim summons against her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
When I turned around to put his jacket on, I noticed the injury on his neck, and I asked her what happened. And next thing, she pulls out this huge bird that's almost taller than my child.
My parrot is not as big as her child. And not only that, I've had kids that I've had since they were 5 months old and still have, and they're 4 years old.
Obviously, I made a mistake, and I will never do that again.
Truth does tell. She'd rather spend money on her horse than her child.
And now the next case. Suing her biological daughter, 17-year-old Jessica Simons, and Jessica's adoptive sister, Kathy Brooks, for the money she spent when Jessica came to live with her. Jessica and Kathy are countersuing, claiming Angela stole Jessica's Social Security checks.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 449 on the calendar in the matter of Nemechek versus Brooks Simons. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Looks like a lot of witnesses here for a relatively simple case. Miss Nemechek?
Yes.
I assume that this is Jessica?
Yes.
According to your complaint, you are Jessica's birth mother.
Yes.
And Jessica was adopted by a family when she was 4 years old.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are her sister.
Yes.
Adoptive sister?
Yes.
And both of her adoptive parents passed away, unfortunately, from illness. For a period of time, she was staying with you.
Yes.
And then, Miss Nemechek, Jessica decided that she wanted to come and live with you.
Yes.
And she did for a short period of time.
Yes, Your Honor.
3 months, 4 months?
2.5 months. That was
And during-
3.5 months.
3.5 months. And during that time, you purchased some clothing for her and had other expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then there was falling out,
Yes,
and
Your
she
Honor.
went back to her sister's home.
Correct.
She and her sister came and got all the stuff that you had purchased for Jessica.
Yes.
And you want to be compensated for that.
Yes.
You're Miss Brooks?
Yes.
You have a counterclaim on behalf of your sister because you have guardianship of her now.
Correct.
And that is for reimbursement from the Social Security checks
Correct.
that was sent to Miss Nemechek. And you want that money back because you say that was hers to spend.
Correct.
Miss Nemechek, how old was Jessica when she was adopted?
4.
And did you have contact with her from age 4 to age 17?
Yes, I did.
When?
Periodically. I've had phone calls with them. I've went and seen them, me and their godmother. the one that adopted them, was really good friends. That's the reason why I let her adopt them, was because of my sickness that I do have, currently still have.
Is that a physiological or a mental illness?
Physiological and mental.
Did you support your daughter over the years with money?
When I seen them at times, I did when I could financially afford it.
I'm talking about regular support.
No.
When your daughter came to live with you, I assume that either you weren't getting along with your sister, is that right?
Well, I just wanted to go live with my mom. I just wanted to get to know her. I wanted to have a mother-daughter relationship with her.
Did you approve of that?
At first, no, because of all the problems that we have had with Angela.
What kind of problems?
She would call their schools when my parents were alive, trying to get them out of school. Jessica and I are, we do fight a lot, and I think we do because you don't go from being a sister to trying to be a mother. And, you know, when someone is, 14 years old, our relationship changed because...
Were you married when your parents died?
Yes.
You have children?
I have 3 children.
And you took your sister to live with you?
I took both of my sisters to live with me.
And this was the older sister?
Yes.
Is that right? She take good care of you?
Yes.
I love her. She's my sister. I'm not gonna do this. When Jessica came to me and told me she wanted to know Angie, sorry.
Would it be better if I asked you questions?
No, I need to say this because it's important. I don't know what it's like not knowing your parents. So who was I to tell Jessica that she couldn't get to know her biological mother? Unfortunately, Angela, in the whole time since my parents have had Venus and Jessica and their older brother David, my parents adopted 3 of her children so they could stay together. She never could step up to the plate and act like an adult and knock on my door and say, hey, Kath, I'm sorry your parents died. I really want to help. I really would like to get to know my daughter.
She would sneak around and see us, basically.
So it was very hard for me to let Jessica go, but I spoke with Jessica all the time. She gets a death benefit from my parents. That's what she has left of my parents.
And what did you do with your death benefit, Jessica?
I signed the money over to my mother so she can put it in her bank. And she said she would save the money for me so I can buy a car.
Did you do that, Miss Nemechek?
I did put that money in the bank. I put it in my savings account, and Jessica kept asking me for money, and I kept taking out of my savings account and giving it to her. I do have proof of that.
Well, how much in the 3 months that she was there? You got 3 checks?
I got 2.
How much were they for?
$931 a each.
One was $931, one was $731, and that was it.
How much did she get?
$931 each a month, and it was a total of $2,700 and some odd dollars that was given to her from her death benefit.
Well, let's say, for argument's sake, it was about $2,000. When your daughter decided to go back, how much of the money that she turned over to you did you return to her or put in a savings account in her name?
She had none. She had taken that all out with withdrawals.
How could I...
Just a second.
Okay.
Let us assume that that's true. Who are you suing and for what?
The money that the 2 checks that she received, that Kathy had gave her, we gave her more money besides that.
You're her mother. Who's supposed to take care of
I signed my rights over.
Then
I signed my rights over.
Then Miss Nemechek...
She's getting a check, Miss Kathy
Now,
Brooks
I'm
is-
speaking.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It's not just about the money.
Well, if it's not just about the money, you're in the wrong place. Go to a psychiatrist. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here about the money. Other than that, you can go find Dr. Phil someplace. He'll be more than happy to hear you.
And later today,
Which one of you was driving the car?
I was, Your Honor.
Which one was drunk?
Both of us.
Okay, Mr. Rice had about $1,200 worth of damage to his property. Who's going to pay for it? I don't see those hands going up.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Nemechek is suing her biological daughter, Jessica Simons, and Jessica's adoptive sister, Kathy Brooks, for money she spent on Jessica's behalf. Angela says Jessica lived with her for 3 months when her adoptive parents died.
If you don't want to be her mother, then you say, I'm sorry you can't come to live with me. But when you buy her clothes, things that you should have been buying for her for 17 years, and she decides, I am speaking, and you give it to her, that is a gift. You don't get that back. You get to say, I'm sorry it didn't work out. I know I wasn't much of a parent to you when you were growing up. I know that you had lovely parents. Fortunately, I wasn't there for you. This little bit is my small bit, aside from the fact that you got a couple of $1,000s that you spent, because $100 here and $100 there over 3 months don't come out to $2,000.
I have all my proof.
I don't care what you have. What you don't have, clearly, is a conscience. You're supposed to do the right thing.
You have no idea what I went through in the past 17 years with
That's
these
not,
people.
listen to me. Whatever happened to you over 17 years, you visited on yourself, and you also visited on your children. Because whatever problems you had, you decided to have children. They didn't make that choice. You made that choice.
Yes,
So quite frankly, nobody is interested in what you went through over 17 years. That's your problem. You visited your problems on innocence. And when you do that, you don't get sympathy. And when you do that...
The reason why I gave up my kids is because I have leukemia. I was told I had 2 years to live.
Listen to me very carefully. If God blessed you and said, while you had 2 years to live, here you are, 15 years later, still alive and kicking, then what you do if your daughter comes back to you and you've given her a couple of $1,000s in clothes that you didn't take care of over her entire growing up years, and you decided to do it,
Your
and
Honor,
if it didn't work
I did
out...
buy her clothes in between those 17
Miss
years.
Nemechek, quite frankly, I find your behavior bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. If you suffer from an illness, and if you're giving me that as an excuse for giving up your children, despite the fact that years later you're still here, and if you had the unique opportunity of getting to know your children again, then you don't terminate that by suing them. That's stupid
I'm
and
not suing
amoral.
my daughter. I'm suing
All
the
right.
person that supposedly gave her money that she never gave her.
That has nothing to do with you. It's not your money. It's not your money. It's
Exactly.
Bird's money. It's the citizens' money. It's not your money. Now, but for the fact, Miss Brooks, just a second.
Can
Don't
I have
move.
them walk up here?
No, I don't need them. I said there are an awful lot of witnesses here for a relatively simplistic case. There's nothing that I don't understand that I have to have
Well, there's a
made
lot
clear.
more to this case, Your Honor. It's not just about the money.
Well, if it's not just about the money, you're in the wrong place. Go to a psychiatrist. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here about the money. That's what courts are for. Other than that, you can go find Dr. Phil someplace. He'll be more than happy to hear you. Now, shh, Miss Brooks, but for the fact that Miss Nemechek brought this action against you, would you have counterclaimed for the money that Jessica gave her?
Yes, we actually already hired an attorney to help us write up the complaint against Miss Nemechek. I also have a letter from our bank stating that Jessica's death benefit did come out of her account.
Well, let me see the letter from the bank. How long do you receive the death benefits for, Jessica?
Till I'm 18 and out of school, high school.
Well, this letter indicates, Miss Nemechek, that there were 3 checks, all in the amount of $931.
Well, all I have here is a deposit on August 9th for $731.
That doesn't mean that you didn't get $931.
And then I
that
have
means that
a
maybe...
deposit
Shh,
here
I'm
on
speaking.
September.
I'm speaking. Death benefits don't change by $200. So that means that you may have deposited $731 and taken $200 in cash.
I don't recall that, Your Honor.
Well, if you don't recall, that's why I have this from the bank. So 931 times 3 is $2,793. What'd you do with it?
Right here.
Oh, let me see it. Perfect. What's Sprint?
That's a cell phone bill.
$122?
Yes.
Get it. I don't know what this is. This is nothing. White Fox Den, $28. What's that for?
That's food.
Food?
Food.
Oh my God.
Walgreens. Sunglasses, sunglasses, sunglasses. 3 pairs of sunglasses. Shampoo. What's that for?
It's for Jessica.
Miss Nemechek, I think you're a bad lady.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Nemechek is suing her biological daughter, Jessica Simons, and Jessica's adoptive sister, Kathy Brooks, for money she spent on Jessica's behalf. Angela says Jessica lived with her for 3 months when her adoptive parents died.
I think you're a bad lady. And I believe your daughter when she said you were going to take these checks and put them in an account for her, and the purpose of that account was that when she got to be old enough, she was going to be able to buy a car for herself. I believe you told her that, and I believe that you then went through your trash can and picked out receipts that you decided for your home, for you and your husband and whoever else lives there, that the government was going to be responsible for. If you supported your daughter yourself for 3 months and you've given her no other support her whole life, you ought to thank God that somebody took care of her for the 14 years that you didn't. Judgment for the defendant on the counterclaim in the amount of $2,793. Your claim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wouldn't let her have custody over me, and that's just a way of revenge for her, I guess. Suing her own daughter.
I have one daughter here. She's the one I'll help, because I know she never screws me like the other one did.
She was just doing everything behind everybody's back. My son Scott, she came to his school and asked him to go and do drugs with her.
I'll see her in the next court on that one.
She does need professional help. Definitely, she does.
Maybe later on in life, if I'm not dead, then she can come around. But then again, my husband don't want her ever around.
I think it's ridiculous. I have nothing to do with her anymore.
And suing her neighbor, or Zanger, for damage to her home caused by his peacocks, a dog attack, and defamation of character.
Hush, hush. Your Honor, this is case number 118 on the calendar in the matter of Sear versus Zanger. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Sear, you and Mr. Zanger are neighbors,
Yes, we are.
but I gather the properties are spread out.
They're very far apart.
How many acres do you have?
I have 6.5.
And Mr. Zanger, how many acres do you have property?
Just short of 6.
This is your complaint, that Mr. Zanger keeps peacocks, and he also has dogs.
Yes.
You claim that his peacocks got out of his property and came onto your property and ate your screens. That his dogs attacked your dogs. You have vet bills that you want him to pay for. And that when you complained, he sent out a letter to neighbors that really vilified you and caused you a substantial amount of hardship. And you want to be compensated for that as well. Mr. Zanger says the screens, really no big deal. That his dogs are territorial, and as far as the letter is concerned, he never meant the letter to cause you any embarrassment or stress. He was really trying to be neighborly. That's your defense.
Exactly.
How long have you been neighbors?
It'll be 3 years in July.
Do you have pictures of your peacocks, Mr. Zanger?
I do.
May I see them, please?
They're so pretty.
How long have you had these birds?
About 4 years, I would say.
Do you keep them contained in any way?
Not at all.
Okay. So you understand if you don't keep them contained in any way, you are responsible for any damage that they cause.
Yes.
Good. So tell me about the damage that the peacocks caused, Miss Sear.
We have a 3-story house. They've gotten up there and ate all 5 of the screens on our 3rd story.
Can I see the pictures, please? They certainly are beautiful
Here,
birds.
they ate all the way
Thank
up
you.
to here.
Beautiful. Where did you get them?
In New York.
How many do you have?
Right now, only 2. The others were eaten by the mountain lions. And may I just add at this point, I have them as security against rattlesnakes.
Well, that's nice, but they eat her screens.
That was none of my desire.
I understand that,
Or
but
my,
may not be your
doing.
desire, but they're annoying. This is the damage they caused.
May I address you in that point? This happened actually 3 years ago. I came back from New York where I spent my summers on my island. And then I was told by one of the neighbors that Zach said his father had shot at the peacocks on the roof or above. I went up to the Sear residence. I introduced myself. They were new neighbors. And I met Mr. Sear. And I asked him if he did actually take aim at the peacocks. And he said, yes, he shot above them because they were on a roof. I said, okay, why don't you use a water hose? Water does really deter almost all animals.
Yeah.
And eventually Mrs. Sear came out and she said, you know, they ate our screens, and I did not see them.
Okay, well, somebody wasn't watching the store. How much is it going to cost you to replace the screens?
The screens, I found a lower estimate for $85.79.
$85.79, cheap enough, taking care of the screens. Let's get to the problem with the dogs.
My son and his 9-year-old friend, my son was 11. They were walking.
Were you there?
I was at the house, no.
You the
Step.
son?
Yeah.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Zachary Sear.
All right, Zachary. When were you walking your dogs that you had a problem with Mr. Zanger's dogs?
About April 26th.
How many dogs were you walking?
I was only walking 2.
What kinds of dogs were you walking?
German Shepherd and Lab. Mix.
Were you walking them on leashes?
No. I was leading them with my hand.
And where were you walking them?
I was walking them down the road. We have like a halfway where it splits. And I go from there back and just check out the neighborhoods.
Okay. Tell me what happened, Zachary.
Okay, I was walking down and I see 3 dogs coming down. A St. Bernard and 2 looks like Black Labs and Rottweiler mixed. And the St. Bernard was okay. It just stayed away, but then...
Yeah, they're big and goofy and fun.
Yeah. The St. Bernard's very sweet.
We have one in our family.
They are very sweet.
I know.
And then those 2 Rottweiler and Lab mixes, they were all sniffing, and then one started to bite the older dog.
Whose older dog?
Our older dog. They just started to fight and everything, and I was getting freaked out, so I tried to help. And then they went to go attack the younger dog, which is our dog, but that dog just ran away. Then they started attacking my dog's legs, and they started pouncing on her chest and everything, and she had a big, like, hump or something on her side of her ribs. And then my mom came back up, and that's when we got contact with Mr. Zanger.
What did Mr. Zanger say to you, Miss Sear?
Well, I heard the boys screaming, so I got in my truck and I drove down. I met with the boys, so I put the boys and the dog in my truck, and as I came, he came down in his silver car. And I pulled up next to him, and I said, "Do you see what happened?" And he says, "Yes." He goes, "My dogs are territorial." He says, "Anything that walks over here, they think that they own the road." I said, "If your dogs are dangerous, you need to take care of your animals." My dog never left my son's side as they were pouncing him and everything else. She's not aggressive.
Okay, Mr. Zanger.
Thank you. I would like to say the dogs have absolutely no Rottweiler in them. Both of them are black, as you see. Both of them are female and spayed.
Good. That's very nice. They got off your property. Did you say to Miss Sear when she called you that my dogs are territorial?
I did say so, yes. You see, when we moved there, we saw the area is so rural, and I felt we have our dogs there also to keep the rattlesnakes away. I had to kill rattlesnakes right in front of my house, and I have a 6-year-old granddaughter, and I want her to be
Mr.
safe.
Zanger, my dear, you choose to live there.
Yes.
If you choose to live there, you have to have whatever protection you need for your 6-year-old granddaughter.
That's...
If you choose to have your 6-year-old granddaughter live in an area where she's playing in the front yard, but for your dogs and your peacocks, there are going to be rattlesnakes. That's your choice. You don't have the right to have dogs who've decided that their territory goes beyond the boundary of your deed. And when you do, you are responsible for the damage that they cause. So now I will see the letter.
And then he issued out a letter to all of my neighbors in May stating that when I brought him my vet bill, I knocked on the door. Mr. Zanger walked out, shut the door behind him, and I said, "The other day when your dogs attacked my dog, here's my vet bill." He took it, he looked at it, and he goes, "So what? Good." He goes, "Get off my property." I said, "You're responsible for what happens." He goes, "Get off my property right now." And I said, "It's very sad because I'm going to call animal control and it'll probably end up with your animals being destroyed." I did say that. I never said I was going to shoot them. His 6-year-old granddaughter was never there. He sent that out to my neighbors.
Can I read the letter, please?
Certainly.
Are you employed, sir?
No, I'm retired.
You got a lot of time on your hands. And anybody receiving this letter, Miss Sear, would understand that this is the musing of somebody who has a lot of time on their hands. It's not the kind of letter that you sue over. He's not only complaining about you, he's complaining about other people. He talks about other instances that happened in 1998 with his dogs. He talks about stolen car parts, which he doesn't attribute to you. It is the musings and meanderings of somebody who has nothing else to do. You don't get compensated for this. You do, however, get compensated for the injuries to your dogs and for the screens that his peacocks damaged. Those two amounts together come to $477.63. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it was fair. The only reason I brought the letter in was to prove that, he was distributing lies to all my neighbors, but I think it was very fair.
I do applaud Judge Judy for whatever she does and how she does it, and I abide by her decision.
He's got too much time on his hands.
Let bygones be bygones, and let's work together to a better neighborhood.
All parties
are suing the father of their daughter's former friend, Mark Cooley, for the cost of a Hawaiian vacation. The Weavers say Mark has yet to pay for his daughter's share.
Yeah, this is case number 182 on the calendar, the matter of Weaver versus Cooley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young ladies, have seats, please.
Oh, my goodness. Do you really want to be here?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Weaver, this is your complaint. Your daughter and the defendant's daughter are friends, and you were taking a trip to Hawaii. According to your complaint, you invited Mr. Cooley's daughter to accompany your family on the trip. And the arrangement was that if she were going to go with you, her mother and father, who are divorced, were going to split the cost of her basic trip.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right?
That's correct.
That's right.
And it is your claim that Mr. Cooley, who is her father, did not pay for his half of her trip.
Yes.
Mr. Cooley said that he never had a contract with you, right?
That's correct.
That he was sort of presented with a fait accompli, that he fell on some hard financial times, otherwise he certainly would have wanted his daughter to have this experience, which she, by the way, did have. She did go with you. His defense is that he never had a contract with you. When were you planning this trip?
February of 2004 is when we first contacted them about planning the trip.
When you say them, who did you contact?
I contacted Brittany's mother because Brittany lives with her mom, and we discussed the option of her being able to go with us.
And what was the arrangement that you made with her mother?
I told her mother that we'd be happy for Brittany to accompany us because she was our daughter's best friend, and that if she would pay for just the airline flight and then the expenses of the activities, such as the snorkeling and et cetera that we did there, okay, and that we would be glad to pay for all of her food and then any of the other miscellaneous expenses. And then her mother said that she would have to contact Brittany's father to see if he'd pay for half and let us know. Then she called us and said that she'd spoke with her ex-husband, and he agreed.
Did you speak with him?
We spoke with him 30 days before the trip. He came over to our house. Not that date, not that time.
When did you go on the trip?
December.
So practically a year later.
Correct.
And it wasn't until November that you say that you contacted Mr. Cooley. Is that right?
Yes, because we were unable to get a hold of him.
Had you purchased the tickets already?
Yes, ma'am.
So you purchased the non-refundable tickets based upon the conversation you had with Brittany's mother.
Correct.
Now, you understand that up until this time you had no contract with Mr. Cooley. Do you understand that?
No, ma'am.
Well, I'm going to try to explain it to you.
Okay.
What you did was you had, at best, a contract with Brittany's mother to pay for half the cost of the trip. Brittany's mother cannot obligate Brittany's father to pay for the other half. She can't say, he's going to pay for the other half and in any way obligate him. Do you have a sibling?
Yes, ma'am.
Brother or sister?
I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Okay, let's take the brother. He's easy. What's his name?
Michael.
All right, let's say Michael wanted to have his family room redone. So he went to a contractor, and the contractor said it's going to cost $10,000 to redo your family room. And Michael said, that's fine. I'm going to pay for half, and my sister promised me that she would pay for the other half as a birthday present. So you go ahead and you do this renovation for $10,000. Michael gives him $5,000 and says, go get the other $5,000 from my sister. What's your first name?
Susan.
Susan. Goes to Susan. Susan says, listen, I told him if I could, one day I would like to make a present of $5,000, but I never agreed to pay you $5,000. I didn't have a contract with you. You want your money, go to Michael. Now do you understand?
I understand that, ma'am, yes.
He may have agreed to something, but up until November, I just want you to understand you had no contract with him.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank
Got
you.
it?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me what happened in November.
Well, my husband spoke with him. I don't know if you want to talk to him as far
I
as
sure
that.
do.
Okay.
He's the only one I can speak to if he
Okay.
spoke to him.
I talked to Mr. Cooley about the expenses that we had incurred already, purchasing the non-refundable tickets, and that she would need $300 to $400 to pay for the incidental expenses that she would incur as far as the snorkeling, the luau, and that kind of stuff that she would need over there. And he agreed at that time that...
What did he say? Not he agreed. What did he say?
He said the trip sounded good, that it was a one-in-a-lifetime trip for her, that it was something that they had never, ever planned for her to do, and that he would pay his half.
He said he would pay his half.
His half.
And are those the words he used?
To the best of my recollection, yes, Your Honor.
Did he give you any money?
No, ma'am.
So when was he supposed to pay you?
He indicated that he had had some problems health-wise, and at the time he was unable to give us any money. And we told him when he got back on his feet, whenever he could pay us monthly payments or whatever have you. But basically, he had us over a barrel. We had to take Brittany. We weren't going to disappoint her and not take her.
Now it's your turn.
Well, first of all, I didn't go to their house at all. My conversation with Mr. Weaver was over the phone, and that was only because in August I went on disability, and I was informing him that I was not going to be able to pay, and he had said, quote unquote, well, give me what you can, and if you can't give me anything, then that's fine, your daughter's going to go anyway. So I mentioned to my daughter that I wasn't going to be able to pay for her trip, and she was going to have to ask her mother to pay for it in its entirety.
Okay. Something that you said to me, Mr. Cooley, however, has an interesting ring to it. You said that you called the Weavers because your financial circumstances changed. You wanted to let them know that you could no longer pay your half. Is that right?
That's true.
Well, that suggests to me, sir, that you had originally told your ex-wife that you would pay for half when she originally called you in February of 2004. Are you following what I'm saying
Yes,
to
ma'am.
you? Am I correct, Mr. Cooley, that you originally told your ex-wife that you would pay for half of the expenses?
That is correct. But in February of 2004, I was under the impression that I was only going to help her out on her airfare.
Fine. Let's say that's what you were told, that you were going to pay for half the airfare. Not help her out, half, because the words that you used to me were half, right?
Right.
Now, the airfare was how much?
The exact price was $729.43.
So is what you're telling me now, Mr. Cooley, that what your understanding was that you were going to pay for half the airfare, and that's what you agreed to with your former wife? Don't think of what I'm going to say after that, Mr. Cooley. Believe me, you're never going to be able to leapfrog over my mind.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're dealing with children. She could just as easily go to her father and say, listen, I want to go on this trip. It's $200 to go. It turns out that it's $2,000. What am I going to do, put her in jail?
And later today,
He claimed that he made over $2,000 in sex calls, probably many of whom are guys talking and making out with their women.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Susan and Lloyd Weaver say the father of their daughter's former best friend, Mark Cooley, owes for a Hawaiian vacation.
Now, is that what you agreed to with your former wife, to pay for half the airfare?
Right. Well, to be honest with you, my correspondence with my wife, because we don't speak, has been through my daughter.
Is that what you promised your daughter?
Correct.
And your daughter, I assume, conveyed that to her mother.
Yeah.
Brittany, what did you tell your mother?
Well, I told my mom that I was going on the trip and how much it was.
How much did you tell her it was?
I told her that as far as what I knew, it was $350 that she was supposed to pay.
And you told your father the same thing?
That he was supposed to pay $350 also.
And he agreed to that?
Yes.
Good. Now you can sit down. Okay, Mr. Cooley. let us assume everything that you say is correct, that you were going to pay for half the airfare. Why didn't you pay him?
Well, in August, I went on disability, and so my whole financial situation changed.
You already said that to me. But at this point, they had non-refundable tickets, and one way or another, your daughter was going to go. Did you ever think, sir, of saying, I have to send the Weavers $50 a month because I agreed to do that? They took my daughter on a trip. I had a contract with them to pay them half, according to you. Not according to them, but according to you. Half the airfare for your daughter.
When I gave them the $150, there was somewhat of an agreement that I could pay monthly.
When did you give them $150?
I gave them $150 upon them coming back from
Give
their
me the
trip.
date. You have the date?
It was January 6th, Your Honor.
And you cashed that check?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So that's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, 6 months later. And you haven't given them any money since?
Well, in April, the tides had turned because they kind of sent me a threatening letter, or at least I thought it was threatening, informing me that we don't want any ill feelings toward you or your wife. This could affect our daughter and your daughter's friendship.
They're absolutely right. It's a very good reason for you to send a check and say, I'm sorry, I told you that finances were really tight. I realize that this is my obligation. Here's $50. Here's $30. Here is something to demonstrate that I recognize that this is my obligation. You have a letter like that?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Well, that's the wrong thing. You did the wrong thing, sir. Mr. and Mrs. Weaver, the only contract that I can ascribe to Mr. Cooley is for half of the airfare. And I say that because that's what his daughter says that she told her mother, and she told him. So, unfortunately, what?
We sent Mr. Cooley 3 letters advising him that he still owed us money. He sent us a letter back. And in that letter, he said that it's not verbatim.
Show me the letter.
You got it, ma'am?
If what you're saying to me is he acknowledges anything more than
Yes,
the
Your Honor, it does.
airfare.
The letter's several pages long, Your Honor. The first page shows that he agreed to pay half.
Well, let
But
me
it just
see.
says to pay half of Brittany's expenses.
Have the letter.
The whole letter.
Uh-huh.
And, Your Honor, if I may just say one more thing. Brittany's mom paid us the $550.
I don't care what
she
she
owed
did.
us, so she knew that half of it was $550.
Listen
I
to
just
me.
might say that.
You cannot ascribe anything to him that Brittany's mother knew.
Okay, I won't say anything else
Nothing.
about
If you want to have a contract with somebody, you have to talk to them face to face, or you have to speak to them personally over the phone, and then memorialize it in a written document that is signed. And then it's a contract that you have between 2 people. If you're dealing with children, she can just as easily go to her father and say, listen, I want to be able to go on this trip. It's $200 to go. Will you pay for $200? And he says, sure, I'll pay for $200. And it turns out that it's $2,000. You've already booked the ticket, so you're out $2,000. What am I going to do, put her in jail? Of course not. That's why you don't deal with children when you're making a contract with
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Cooley, listen to me. This is all wrong, sir. You say to them, I agreed to pay 1/2 of my daughter's expenses. And if I believe what you say it was based on me being employed. Well, that's not true. That's not true, sir. Your agreeing to pay for half of her airfare was not based upon your being employed, because you didn't have that conversation with your daughter. When you said to your daughter, I'll pay for half of your airfare, you didn't say to her, on condition that I'm still working, right?
Right.
Okay. I had no control over my going on disability, which cut my salary in 1/3. So what? What's that their problem? That's your problem, not theirs. What's the nature of your disability?
Stress.
And you came here? I can see from this rambling letter that you are stressed, Mr. Cooley, so I won't proceed any further. You owe these people an additional $214, and that's giving you every possible benefit of the doubt, sir, that the only thing you agreed to was to pay for 1/2 of her airfare. I mean, I think that if you wanted to be a good guy, you would say to them, listen, I don't want you to be out any money, and I don't want our daughters who are good friends to be estranged, so I'm going to make it my business to see to it that you get the extra $50 a month until it's all paid off. But from a legal perspective, I can't do that. I can, however, find that you agreed to pay for half the airfare. You have already given them $150, leaving a balance of $214. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't know if it was a once-in-a-lifetime trip. It's not like she's not going to be able to go anywhere else.
Brittany's dad has a problem with us now, and so she's not really able to come over to our house.
We don't really hang out that much anymore.
I think she'd be over a lot more this summer if this wasn't going on.
We'll still be friends.
I hope that would happen.
Now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cotton versus Strip matter. Step forward, please.
Julie and David Cotton are suing family friend, 18-year-old Dylan Strittmatter, for crashing a golf cart during their wedding reception. Dylan claims he is not guilty.
Who was getting married?
Julie and I.
According to your complaint, Miss Cotton, your family lives on the river.
Correct.
Is that where the wedding was?
Yes.
The defendant is the son of an old family friend, and because there was so much land and the venue was spread out, you rented 2 golf carts to sort of help people get from one place to another, especially people who might have been a little older. Those golf carts were just rented for the event. It is your claim that the defendant, without permission, drove one of those golf carts and damaged it. You're being charged by the rental company for the damage to the golf cart, and you want him to pay for it.
Correct.
Who saw Mr. Strittmatter riding the golf cart?
Tristan Hall.
How old are you, Mr. Hall?
18.
What do you know about Mr. Strittmatter and the golf cart?
Well, I was the guy in charge of taking people to and from the parking to the wedding, and we were at the reception.
At the golf cart, with
Right.
the golf cart.
Right. And after the wedding, we went to the reception, and we had the 2 golf carts parked over there. And we were all sitting around eating, and I saw them take off in the golf cart, and we just went out. I went out there after them to see what
Saw who taking off?
Dylan and Greg.
That's Dylan would be you?
Yes.
And who's Greg?
I'm Greg.
Perfect, I love it. No, I didn't ask you to go over there yet.
Well,
I didn't ask you to go over there yet.
Okay. That is a
I
lot.
didn't go over.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Oh, Miss Cotton, you're going to talk to me. You, me. Maybe you're used to getting the last word. I'm trying to tell you, it's your responsibility to ensure no underage drinking at your venue.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Julie and David Cotton claim family friend Dylan Strittmatter owes for crashing a golf cart during their wedding reception.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I went out there, and we were just riding. We were riding around for a little while.
Who was riding around?
Me, Dylan, and Greg.
How did you get on the golf cart?
Because I went out there. When I saw him riding around, I walked out there.
So you walked outside, and the 3 of you got on the golf cart.
Right. Well, they were on it first. I went out there after they were already on it. I went out there.
Who drove?
They were driving. We all took turns driving.
Who drove first?
Tristan drove first, but there's also a 4th person in the party. Their son Chase was also in the golf cart, and he also drove it with us.
Is that right?
Chase was in the golf cart, yes.
So who drove first?
I guess I drove first.
Who drove second?
Chase drove second.
Who drove third?
I drove third.
All right, what happened next?
Okay, so we're driving around, and we were just driving around with the golf cart, and after a little while, I said, okay, we should probably bring this back. So we were on our way back down this road, and that's whenever he thought he could make it through these 2 rocks, if that's what you want to call them. They're more like boulders, and then he just ran into one of them.
Now, did you know you weren't supposed to be driving around in that golf cart at that time?
In the back of my mind, I did.
And did you know you weren't supposed to be Hey, did you look at me? Did you know you weren't supposed to be driving around in the golf cart at that time?
Yes, I knew that.
Did you know you weren't supposed to be driving around at that time? And I assume your son knew that he wasn't supposed to be driving around that time.
That's correct.
So what are you suing him for?
Because he had been drinking at the wedding at my mom's, and I had told him to put it down, and I saw them take off, but mind you, I'm in the middle of my reception, and I heard them, and so did my friends, hear them screaming, come on, let's go get on the golf cart. It was just those 2, and they were drunk at our wedding. They did take it. The owner of the...
Your son was there. How old is he?
13.
What'd you do to him?
Actually, both of my sons had told them, and so had Tristan, to stop, and he was driving.
They were driving around in the golf cart.
Well, a little more than driving. He was driving erratically.
Just a second. Where do you think it's all his responsibility?
Because he was told to put it back, and he didn't.
Who told him to put it back?
All of them.
They did not. They were driving around with it. They did not tell him to put it back. What are you, nuts? Listen, Miss Cotton.
Yes.
If you're telling me that you saw them get in the golf cart and drive around with it, and you didn't leave your reception to go and stop them from driving around with it.
My oldest son actually did.
He's not here. You, not your son. Your 13-year-old was in the golf cart.
Right, but my oldest son also took the keys from them.
Did you see that?
No, but they all told me, and the owner
They
of the
tell
golf
you anything,
cart.
Miss Cotton. You have a responsibility. A golf cart is an attractive nuisance. That's what it is for young people. That's why your 13-year-old got in the golf cart.
Well, I mean, he admitted to wrecking it and told us he was sorry.
They were all involved in it. If anything, he's responsible for a quarter of it, not for the whole thing. Your son is responsible. Therefore, you're responsible for a quarter.
My son is 13.
He's responsible for a quarter. He's responsible for a quarter. He's not responsible for the whole damage to the golf cart. They shouldn't have been in the golf cart to begin with. And if you saw them and you're the grown-up, you should have seen to it that they weren't in the golf cart.
Can I say something?
Listen, if you knew he was drinking, what's the drinking age where you are anyway?
21.
If he got hurt and he had been drinking at your wedding, he would have owned that house on the river.
I can't control him. He's not my child.
Oh, yes, you can. You can put him out of your house.
He wasn't at our house. It was an open field. We weren't there. He went off in a different area.
Miss Cotton, it's your responsibility when you have an event to ensure that there is no underage drinking. And based upon what you tell me, you saw him drinking and drunk at your wedding. You then saw him get into a golf cart and drive away. And it was your reception, and you couldn't do anything about it because you didn't want to leave the reception. That's what you told me.
I didn't see him get in. I heard them say they were going to do it and take off, and people were
Miss Cotton, I'm getting less and less sympathy for you. I mean, that doesn't give him any right to do that. And he's going to pay for 1/4 of the damage. But I have less and less sympathy for you. You planned a wedding, and you had a bunch of kids, including these two people, not only the defendant, who were drinking at your wedding. And that's your responsibility. You are responsible for the venue. That's what the law says. And if they had gotten into a car instead of a golf cart, and instead of going between a boulder and scratching your golf cart, which is what he did, he got into his car and he killed somebody, you know who they come after? You. That's what the law says.
I didn't serve him the alcohol, and he stole
You
it.
did serve him alcohol.
I did.
Duh.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to JudgeJudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Now,
Oh, actually, we did serve the alcohol.
you did serve him alcohol.
Well, it's in a bar area. Anybody can walk to the bar and get it.
He didn't get it from the bar. He did go and take
Did you get it from the bar?
Actually, there was a fountain outside the wedding reception that had
Right.
wine, and there's a cup there and cups, and you could just go in and pour yourself some.
And did you not look at me and I told
Just a
you to put
second.
it down?
Just a second. Is
yes,
that what
you
you're
did,
telling me?
Ellen.
Then what you do is when you have children and you have open alcohol, you ensure that the children who are there don't drink the alcohol.
Well,
Oh, Miss Cotton, you're going to talk to me. You, me. Maybe you're used to getting the last word. I'm trying to tell you that based upon 16 years of education and 30 years in the judicial system, it's your responsibility to ensure no underage drinking at your venue. Do you understand?
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost to fix this golf cart?
$1,119.35.
Your responsibility is $279, young man. Do you understand?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $279, only because you have to accept a certain amount of responsibility. Think that's reasonable? Sure. Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Jill suing her ex-boyfriend's father, John Frowner, for the money she put into a car. John is countersuing for impound fees and an unpaid parking ticket.
Yeah, this is case number 113 on the calendar in the matter of Dana versus Frowner. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Miss Dana, the defendant is the father of your boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. Is it ex?
Correct. Ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend, who is currently in jail.
Correct.
You claim that you had a contract with the defendant, and it was a verbal contract.
Correct.
That you and the soon-to-be ex-boyfriend had a car. The car was in Mr. Fowler's name, but you were making payments on it.
Yes.
And you say that Mr. Fowler told you that if you continued to make payments faithfully on the car, as soon as the car was paid off, he would turn over the title to you.
Correct.
So you and the boyfriend drove the car till the boyfriend was arrested. You continued to make payments on the car But then you no longer became a couple, and according to you, you believe that the boyfriend told his father you'd take back the car from her.
Correct.
Well, then you got pulled over for something. Didn't have insurance, or the tags had expired on the car, and the car went into impound.
Correct.
See how easy I'm making this? But I'm going to ask you questions soon.
Okay.
I just have to start the story from beginning to end, because otherwise Bird would lose interest.
Okay.
So the car went into impound, and you wanted to get the car out of impound.
Yes.
But you couldn't get it out of impound because the title to the car is in Mr. Fowler's name.
Correct.
He wouldn't let you get the car out.
That's right.
And then he took the car back. And you want all the money that you put into this car.
Well, a portion, because I put over $5,000 into the car.
Mr. Fowler says, well, you did have some sort of an agreement. The agreement was that he would let you drive the car as long as you paid for it. And that you did drive the car.
Yes.
But you were late on the payments. And he found out you were late on the payments when he went to try to get a loan out or something. And you were destroying his credit. His son might have told you not to get the car back, too. Is that right?
He insinuated that.
What?
In a way. He said that in a way, yes.
Listen,
that,
let's not play with each other, sir. He didn't say that in a way. He said, get the car back from her.
Yes.
Shh. Okay. So because you were late in your payments, and because his son told him to get the car back from you, he did. And he's counterclaiming because he says he was forced to pay impound fees because you didn't have tags on the car, and a parking ticket that you got. So that's what this case is about. Were you ever late on any payments?
Yes, I was late on payments.
How many?
I was late on a few payments. However, he never said not one time, if you're late on payments, that I'm going to take this car from you.
Well, what did you think he was going to do? Throw you a testimonial dinner?
No, but...
He was going to get you cake?
No.
Send you a bottle of champagne?
But he never said that he was going to take the vehicle from me. I understand that I was late on payments.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Did you ever own property before that you financed?
Yes, I had a vehicle at the time I took over the car. When I took over his car, no.
Did you finance it through a bank?
Yes, I did.
Do you still have the car?
No, I sold the car after I took over the car with Mr. Frowner.
When you had your vehicle and it was financed through a finance company, what did you think would happen if you were perpetually late in making the payments?
They would then repossess the car.
Right! So you thought that it was okay to be late in your payments with Mr. Frowner?
No, I didn't think it was okay, but I was going through little problems at the same time. I was also helping his son out that was in jail.
That has nothing to do with the car.
Yeah, that's true. However, that was deceit from his son as well as him. From the time that I met his son, he was a bank robber. I never even knew that. That's how I came in contact with even taking over the car note.
Shouldn't have done it.
I felt like I was doing him a favor. I had the car for 2 years, and at the time that he took the car, the payments were on time. He took the car out of my possession without even saying anything.
He didn't take the car out of your possession, Miss Dana. He took the car out of the pound because you were irresponsible in not having the car registered.
Ma'am, the registration was only not even 30 days late. The registration was due in February. I got the registration in March. And Mr. Frowner, the car was getting impounded, I called Mr. Frowner as the car was getting impounded.
Why did they take the car to impound?
Because the police officers were being jerks. They didn't have to impound that car.
Because there was no registration on the car that was current. Is that right?
Yes, but it wasn't. They give you a 30-day grace period.
Evidently not, Miss Dana.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When did you... job? What is he in jail for?
He's in jail for robbing banks, Your Honor.
Well, then he had a job.
Can you believe that?
Robbing banks gives you money.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sherry Dana claims her ex-boyfriend's father, John Frowner, took back a car she was paying for. John says not only was she late with payments, but the car was impounded.
Seems like the world is against you. You're late in your payments on his credit. You weren't doing it on time because you had all kinds of other troubles. You were doing him a favor in taking over the payments on the car, according to you. You weren't doing him any big favor. The car gets repossessed. He's finished.
If I wouldn't have took over the payments, the car would have been repossessed.
Perfect. Then he would have been in no worse position than he is now.
But the car notes weren't late consistently for the 2 years that
Doesn't
I had
make
the vehicle.
any difference, madam. That affects his credit.
Yes, it affects his credit, but at the same time...
So you have no sympathy for me. You didn't do the right thing. You didn't make your payments on time. You didn't have the car registered.
I had the car registered before, prior to.
So?
It was just a few days behind.
Miss Dana, you're 31 years old. You have to grow up. You have a responsibility to pay a car note the first of the month. You pay a car note the first of the month. You have a responsibility to register the car by the 30th day of a particular month. You don't wait for what you perceive to be an automatic grace period of 30 days. You're not a baby. You're 31 years old.
Okay.
Stop blaming other people.
Okay,
How much did you pay every month for the car?
I paid $389 a month.
What kind of car was it?
It was a 2000 Monte Carlo SS edition. And even before then, he should have said that before. He should have taken the car away from me in the beginning when the payments were first delayed. Why wait 2 years to let me practically pay off a car and then take the car from me? That's not fair.
Well, maybe we're going to find out. Mr. Frowner, how did you find out that the car payments were late?
From the finance company.
How did that come about?
Because they threatened to repossess the car.
Did they write you any letter?
Yes, they wrote letters.
Do you have those letters with you?
No, I don't have those letters. I have a history, a detailed history of the payments.
Let me see. What did you do with the car, sir?
I still have the car in my possession.
You still have the car in your possession. Are you making payments on the car?
Yes.
Okay. And in what year did Miss Dana start making payments on the car? When it was new in 2000?
No.
When?
July of 2001.
Was your son driving the car before that?
Yes, that's right.
And they were together?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you don't know who was making the payments, she or your son?
No, he was making the payments.
Okay.
He didn't
When
even
did
have
you...
a job.
Shh. What is he in jail for?
He's in jail for robbing banks, Your Honor.
Well, then he had a job.
Can you believe that? Just like I said,
quiet! Robbing banks gives you money. I'm not approving of it, but he had a car. The loan was being paid off because he was robbing banks. He was out there and he was employed. The fact that the government doesn't approve of his vocation doesn't mean that he didn't have money to pay off the car loan. Now, when did he go into prison?
March of 2000.
No.
When did he go into prison?
May of 2001.
501. Believe me, his father knows when he went into jail. And was it starting in May of 2001 that she started to make the payments, Mr. Frowner?
Your Honor, we put the car up for sale.
In what year?
In May of 2001, after he was incarcerated. He was supposed to get the money to obtain an attorney.
And what happened then, sir?
The car was on the lot to be sold, and someone broke into the car. He had a lot of equipment on there. Miss Dana, we got together and we went and got the car. Ever since then, Miss Dana had the car.
So she's been paying on the car for about a year.
Yeah, which I made some payments myself.
Sure,
that's a lie. That's it. That's a lie.
Do you have any proof, Mr. Frowner?
No. That's a lie.
Do you have any proof, Mr. Frowner, that you've been making payments on the car?
I wasn't making those many, but I did make some.
You have any proof?
No.
Then I find that you didn't make any.
Okay.
When was it impounded?
The car was impounded March the 14th.
March of 03.
Correct.
So she's been making payments about 22 months. Times 385?
389.
378.
I have a...
Let me see.
378.
And on this page, and even on that form right there, where I sent my payments through MoneyGram, it would even show where if I was late on the payments, I made up for the late fees and everything.
That doesn't mean his credit wasn't affected. But do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I sure do.
Good. So if you think you're going to get all your money back, you're wrong. But Mr. Frowner can't take advantage of the entire situation. Do you understand that, Mr. Frowner?
Yes.
Now,
yes, Your Honor.
What kind of card had you traded in?
Well, I sold my 1997 Nissan Sentra to a coworker.
And what were your payments on that car?
$320.
And you plan on keeping this car, isn't that right, Mr. Frowner?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the process.
$8,316 is what she paid so far. What interest was your loan?
15%. I have a copy of the contract.
Can I see it, please? You put down $9,000?
Yeah.
Remember what his son was doing. Taxpayer.
You didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. I've deducted the interest. I got about $58.82 if you take away the interest for 2 years. Now, how much do you think minimally you'd have to pay to drive around a car a month?
If I leased a car for 1 month, about $300.
Right. Well, I'm going to give you credit for $200. So it would have cost you about $4,400 or $200 a month to drive around in a new car. That's a lot less than you were paying on your old car, a lot less than you were paying on this car, because there's wear and tear and depreciation, and I'm not getting into that, but it seems to me you should get something. You should get something for the money that you put into the car, not $5,000.
But he agreed. I even have a witness here that stated that that I can have the car. So here's my witness.
You can't have the car if you were late. You were late in the payments. That was your agreement. You make the payments. You didn't make them on time. It's not your car. You didn't put down the $9,000 deposit. You're not going to pay off the rest of the loan. You drove around unregistered. You caused his credit to go down the toilet. You are not entitled to the car, madam. And if you don't understand it, I can't explain it to you any better. You got to do the right and responsible thing. He can't totally benefit from the fact that you made payments on this car for 2 years. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
You have to give her something, because she did, in fact, make payments, even though she was late. And I'm not going to let there be a windfall for you or for your son who is incarcerated. So
and
you're
that's
going to
the
give...
only reason why he's taking the car away from me is because of his son. Before
that
he
may
had
be.
no problem.
Miss Dana,
even with the car being
Miss
loaded.
Dana, if you had done everything right, and you had made the payments on time, and you had gotten the car registered, and he came to your house, and for no reason whatsoever took the car away from you, you would have gotten your $5,000. You didn't do everything right. You ruined his credit by making late payments. You didn't register the car punctually so that the car was impounded. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you didn't do everything right. Therefore, you don't come out a winner. You, however, sir, are suing her for the impound fees because you say at the time the car was impounded, you didn't have the money to get the car out on that day. And on that day, she wanted you to get the car out. So you're not getting your impound fees. You got a nice car and somebody else was paying the note on it. So don't cry to me. I'm not interested. And you're going to give her $1,472. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, she breached the whole contract.
He never stipulated if the payments weren't on time that I would take the car away from you.
Was she trying to get her money?
His son was upset because I'm now no longer writing him or going to visit him out of state where I was spending thousands of dollars to do that.
I'm not being led by my son.
All this time, I'm thinking he's in the music industry and he's out robbing banks.
कोठी जगह से मारते मेरे ये और नंबर 1 तेरा बदला लाऊंगा मैं भगवान कोई जमियानी जरा मार सके और थैंक यू अब मजाक कर रहा था यार नंबर 1 इस वक्त पक्का बदला लाऊंगा गारंटी ला बदला अभी चौना गया ना नंबर 1 है क्या नंबर 1 छोड़ ओए है की ओ सॉरी यार मैं करते हैं नहीं तो मैं प्ले भी बरा हूं यार होई तो बहुत अंदर आ गई फिर नेट गया ले सॉरी यार नंबर 1 बाबा नेट जाई जंदी नीचे मैं मार देना ही यार फिर नहीं मरेगा यार सॉरी असर गया मर गया सारा मर गई यार नेट एमएस नहीं आ रही है अरे भैन ये की है यार अरे 30-40 किल होने चाहिए यार किल ही नहीं हो रहे यार वो नहीं डाल मैं प्ले बड़ा हूँ बस मैं इतना देखा नहीं क्या कर रहा बोटियो बम मार दिए है देखिए एवं दी होंगी प्लेरी खेलना आंदा नहीं खेलना आइंदे करो यार बड़ा ही गंदा बच्चा है यार बार बार मर जाता मैनू अरे एमएस ठीक हो रहे भाई तेन फिर मिलता फिर तुम दसांगा मैं की होंगे लेरी गया मरते ही नहीं यार बोट ही बन गई है वो बड़ा प्लेयर हुंदा सी बस हुन हो गई एमएस ठीक आ जाओ हुन सॉरी यार ए मजाक करता मैं मजाक दिमाग करने दिया रहा था फिर मार गया जीती गए हो बहुत तेरी बस मैं अपनी नींद कुछ किया यार मैं कह मैं गेम ना छड़ जान खेलना ही खेलना है थोड़ा यार इस बार मैं जीतूंगा यार जब गारंटी है इस बार नहीं हारदा इस बार तो मैं जीत ही जाना कोई गल नहीं देखो मैं जीत के बहाना यार तुसी मेरा मजाक उड़ांदे ही तुसी पिछली गेम वेख के कहंदे होवोगे कि नहीं हुन नहीं जीत सकदा वो तो दिमाग च बनाई सी कैमरा ऑडिटर ने गलती की थी ऑडिटर ने विच काम खराब करता सी यार फिर खराब हो गया जी और नेट चला जाता और की यार मरदा ही नहीं है नेट मेरे वाली स्लो हो जाता हर सही आ रहा ना फिर भी नहीं नेट चलता पाएगा बेनी एक किल होंदे पे मेरे नेट वाले भी फिर वाह नंबर 3 वाह प्लेयर बन गया यार तू तो वोटा हुंदा सी बड़ा ही हैवी प्लेयर हो गया भाई रे तू गोलियां नंबर 3 बच के नंबर 3 छलता ही मैंने पड़ गया ना। अच्छा बात नंबर 3 तू प्लेयर है, तू पास है, तू टूर्नामेंट खेलेगा अगले साल पाकिस्तान को, तू फर्स्ट पोजीशन दवानी पाकिस्तान को, ठीक है ना, जिताना तू ही है। अबे की गया अच्छी नहीं मेरी एक भी गोली यार, बस मैं मार देना ही। ओए 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 मारता ही दिमाग लगा। हाँ हूं वेख्यो मरदे लाशां विशां लाशां कोई मारी ते ये गोटे हो तेन मारने नहीं आंदे है, खेलना ही नहीं आंदा हैगा। हूं मरन के बंदे वेख्यो जे लाशां डिगदियां। हूं वेख्यो बंब ना जांदे 2-3 कट्ठे दो तो गए ना। यार मैं 6 किलो कर ले वादू ने गोटियां नाल नहीं होने वेख्यो मैं ही जित टॉप में ही करनी वेख्यो। पबजी जी मैं तो उत्ते कोई हो नहीं सकता।
Marked a location.
ओके यो इंज मारी दा नेड सिख लो भाई जट वाए जट ते वास्ते मेरे को सिख के गया तुसी नहीं जानदे मेनू हले तो मलामत रहेगा मेरी तो जान के फिर तुसी मेरे को आओगे सिखाना पर मैं फिर नहीं सिखाना फिर मैं कहना बाय बाय हूं नहीं बस दुकान बंद है बस जिस टाइम मैं सिखाना हूं उस टाइम आया करो बाद चों आगे ना रिक्वेस्टां करा करो तो सिखा दो ये वो कदे कदे सिखाना हुन्ना मैं वो मार गया यार एक बड़ा पहन यक्षक से है बड़ा 2 नंबर बंदा पाया गया मैं 2 नंबर बंदे दी हर की हम देखा ने डिपार्टना ये सेट से
Watch out.
पार्टी है इसमें मारे ये अंडा का बंदा विक्ट्री मैंने पता ही जीत गया यार मैं प्लेयर ही बहुत हैं की दसा तानू वो गोलो तो हम के गेम 14 किलो करके मैं थले हो गया यार बुराई कोई मैंने ये किया था यार नहीं ब्रो से नहीं फ्रेंड बनना है ठीक है ना।